middle school kitchen is 40 years old. It's never been renovated. High school kitchen, about the same age, never been renovated. So we have a confluence of factors that are requiring some subsidy from our operating budget in order to keep food services in the black each year. So in the midst of this discussion and negotiation with Chartwell, I'm very pleased that they've come to the plate with some innovative suggestions that they're going to share with us momentarily. In terms of the contract that we have in front of us that we are recommending, be aware that it is a one-year contract, but it does have the ability for us to extend for 4 successive years. Secondly, one of the highlights of the contract proposal as presented by Chartwell is a 5-year capital investment in our 2 secondary school kitchens that will allow us to improve the quality of our lunch presentation, the variety, which we're very much limited in now, and the actual presentation of the food. As part of this contract, Chartwell is also offering $20,000 in contributions to our system, $15,000 worth of investment for point of sale systems, and a $5,000 offer for scholarships. In closing, another aspect of the contract that is being considered tonight is a guaranteed break-even for year 1. So I just wanted to provide that brief overview for where we stand, and my pleasure to introduce Mr. Mark Signoli.
Great, thank you, Carl. Again, my name is Mark Signoli. I handle the sales process for the North Reading schools through this process. At the far end of the table, we have Mike Poole. Mike is a principal of Denver Equipment based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and does extensive work with our company nationwide, and especially in the New England area as far as design, consulting, renovation, and so forth. And we have him here tonight to be able to speak to some of the points of the renovations we'd like to propose. Next to Carl, next to Mike to his right is Anna McGovern. Anna is the Director of Dining Services in the North Reading Public Schools. She is the person that you see probably most often of all of us sitting here at this table. And she's been here for a number of years, and she just does an absolutely wonderful job, and she's able to communicate with everybody throughout the district. To my left is Chris Callahan, Anna's immediate supervisor. Chris is the district manager for Chartwell's, and again, he is here on an as-needed basis. Chris has responsibility for 15 school districts, of which North Reading is one, and again, Chris spends a great deal of time here helping Anna as well. So I'll turn it over to Chris, and Chris would like to we'll run through the presentation.
So try to be as brief as possible. I know you've got a real busy night, but
Chris, excuse me, also the school committee has copies. Since they can't see it, they have
beautiful. Mark did the introduction as for our presenting team, and just first thing I'd like to say is we do appreciate your business and the partnerships that we have with North Reading. Even though there was no other bidding companies, we actually really came to the table with sharpen our pencils to offer a really good proposal for the district. With that said, I hope we add value to North Reading. The proposal highlights that we need to go over are try to hit upon the 5 or 6 main key points for our proposal. The first was our new marketing plan that we're actually adopted and rolling out through all our districts, which basically is a unique plan that we actually geared to every grade level. So you'll have a marketing plan for elementary, middle, and secondary. The second is our program investment, which we talked about a little bit, and our renovation plans we'll get further into. POS funding, as Carl mentioned, our guaranteed results, scholarships, which is extremely important to us to be a partner of your community. I know the scholarships will go a long way, especially in these economic times. Our commitment to social responsibility and our expanded nutrition resources. Just again, the new marketing program, we did a lot of research talking to middle schools, high school students, parents, school administrators to find out exactly what they want to seek in their program. In the past, we've actually kind of marketed to 2 different groups, elementary and secondary. So we've even gone further to separate the 3 groups. So we're going to have a dramatic impact this year school set up, you'll see that there's actually elementary signage with 3 characters, Theodore E, Sydney E Learn, C Learn, and Ava Live, which actually make it fun for the elementary students to participate and to really make school lunch fun. I do have a little quick video that I want to show here. I'm not sure how the sound is, but it'll be real quiet here. You just roll out these characters into this year, beginning of this year. We got the one character in the costume. We got Theodore C. Learn and E. Theodore E. So we'll actually be able to provide them as a resource to maybe elementary assemblies and talks of nutrition. So that'll be real helpful. We had Able Learn as well at the beginning of the year. This is the middle school secondary environments and presentation and new what we're looking at for renovating some of the display, how we display the food, how we actually present the food, and a couple of examples that we're serving in districts now under the environments brand. Another picture, again, you'll see that instead of traditional steam table pans where it doesn't look as good. We're looking more of a restaurant feel. So I think, again, by our plans to improve your facilities, we'll be able to provide this type of quality food presentation for you as well. Some of the things that we want to do with this investment, they're geared to really, as Carl said, improve quality and selection, increase participation in program revenues, and improve student satisfaction. Anna has done a great job with the tools and resources she has in the district. This is going to allow us as operators to really move your program a level up, which we're excited about as operators. Here is actually a rendering which you've all received packages, I believe, on middle school and high school renderings, but maybe I can have Mike speak to them a little bit on what you were looking for when you came out of the schools.
Just to give you a brief background, my name is Mike Poole, and I'm out of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're a division of our company is called ServTech. We work with public schools, private schools, business and industry, corporate dining. We have a unique approach. We have a patented way that we do that. We have a complete turnkey. We come in, tear out the existing items, and completely redo it. We're a real strong background in operations, so all of our design approaches take into effect labor and things like that we can try to help the school save the program. We get a return on investment, which is a novel approach in public schools, and we actually do. Now, we have a continuum, depending on the school, how much that is, it varies. There's some factors with how the school's laid out and the existing facilities only limit us to do certain approaches. So what we do is we come out, actually look at the school, and then we do a design from that point, whether that would be a complete turnkey tear out or an upfit type thing. But we're very successful even when we do an upfit approach that it looks like we've got a brand new cafeteria. The food, the lighting, we really spend a lot of emphasis on displaying the food to get your participation increase. And so we've basically grown in 15 states with just word of mouth doing that, and it's been exciting. I came up with Chris about 6 months ago, went to the schools. Our design that we've given you basically we feel very justified in what we've designed here based upon the existing facilities. So,
And Mike, can you speak to the timeline of the installation process? How
yeah,
long that-
our average installation, because we do a complete turnkey hookup, our average is about 3 days. If it's a larger school, maybe a week at the most. We basically learned to do that because a lot of schools are out at Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter, and so that's the time they would want us to come in, of course, summer too. So basically from June to Labor Day, I'm gone from home. So, but we basically 3 days, that's our average to be able to do it. And we take care of your plumbing, POS system, we can do the painting, we can do complete, we manage the whole process. So,
You said you've done this in 15 states.
yes, sir.
I'm assuming the experience has been, there has been an increase in participation
Yes,
in
there
most,
has.
if not all, the schools that you've done this.
Yeah, and a lot of schools are very much on the continuum. There's a lot of schools that I just had to walk away from. Basically, other than making it look a little better, there's physically, there's not even room to add a cashier, add another serving line. So that's the type of thing. So if I do give you a quote, I feel pretty justified in the fact that you are going to get some participation increase out of it. So
We actually rolled it out at Haverhill. Last year, we did the high school, dramatic change in high school at Haverhill. Our program is actually doing probably 400% better than last year in Haverhill. It's going really well. Barnstable, we rolled it out last year too. So Mike actually worked with his team within a 2-week period to finish 3 schools for him.
in DC recently, we just did a high school for Charles, and they had a 900% increase. But that school participation was so low to begin with. That's not normal.
Right.
Generally, I would say we usually get at least a 30% participation increase.
It's more than, it's obviously the look of the area is important, but will this new equipment also allow you to maybe have different offerings? Also
Yes.
different, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Much more
expanded.
variety of food.
Because we're actually looking at adding different components to the servery. We're also adding drop heat lamps. We have heat from above and below. We're adding cold stations, so instead of having it in bowls on ice, we'll be able to really improve the quality and add selection for it. This is actually a picture of, if you can see it, this is a picture of, you probably see your package it more, but this is a picture of Haverhill, one line, and their refit. You see there's heat above the line and below, and we actually dropped in cold wells in each line. That servery has 6 different lines similar to that. This is actually a picture of Barnstable. You'll see the left-hand corner, that was the old station on the left. The 3 pictures on the right are expanded service areas that we added to Barnstable last year, which had a dramatic improvement for us in the middle school. So again, as an operator, and having the tools on our behalf, I look at it as a benefit for us as an operator and for our clients too. We did talk about, also we proposed 15,000 for point of sale purchase system. This is another thing that is geared to increase participation, make the lines go smoother, have more control on the parent level than what your child is eating. So it's actually beneficial in all aspects. We rolled it out at the high school. High school we have it in.
Yeah, both purchases.
And-
It's extremely cost effective. I mean, the lines go quicker, whether they forget their ID or whatever, they just give you a name, you can look them up, there you go. It's really, it's a wonderful tool to have.
If I may interject, the point of sale service system is a system whereby parents can online make a deposit to their child's individual lunch account. They can also, correct me if I'm wrong, look to see what has been purchased by their child. So they know how many bags of potato chips or how many cartons of milk have been purchased. So-
We can have the ability to, if you only give your child $20, you say you only want them to buy lunches, and everything else they can pay cash for out of cart. We have the ability to do that. So that money is just geared to make sure your child is buying a nutritious lunch, instead of spending it on something that you would like them not to.
It's a convenience